that you'll be dead to me.
Welcome back to today's video. Today we are talking about Cremated. Yes, this palette is actually launching today. I just received it in PR and we are going to be focusing just on this. I did not get the glosses in the mail. I've already swatched her and I will not be doing live swatches because last time I did that I got, I don't want to say hate, but I got a lot of criticism, not even constructive criticism, just straight up like I wasn't doing it right and I didn't know there was a right way to do live swatches, so I'm not going to do that. But here she is. As you can see, I've already messed up the pans, but she is a beauty, and if you like neutrals and cool tone shades, then you are going to love her. Okay, so while I finish talking about Miss Cremated, I will show some videos of swatches that I did on my arm earlier. The swatches, guys, are like the glitters in here. The texture, the only way I can describe it is they feel like silk and they are so full coverage. You don't need much of these whatsoever. She is retailing for $58 and you get 24 eyeshadows in this palette. None of them are pigments, they are all eyeshadows, which basically means that none of them are just straight pigment. So I find it a lot easier to blend when they aren't pigments. Pigments to me can get patchy if you aren't careful. Yeah, that's really all I wanted to talk about. I'm not getting into the whole name and all that. I'm not a drama channel, I'm a makeup channel, so I want to stick strictly to the makeup and tell y'all how these shadows themselves perform. So with all of that being said, let's just go ahead and get into the eyeshadow tutorial. Okay, so I did one eye off camera to get an idea of what I wanted to do, and this is what I came up with, and I love it. Okay, so let's get into this. The first thing I'm going to use, and this isn't like necessary, but I like to do it to get the shape that I want, and I already have taped down. I am using the P. Louise, the Bada Black base, and I am just going to take a really small brush like so and just start getting where I want my cut crease to go. And this will also be good to be a base for the black. Start doing this line, and this part right here doesn't have to be clean because the tape is doing the work for you. And then I'm going to look right in the center and make sure that they are somewhat, so I'm going to say about right there. And then I will just start connecting the dots. I hope that makes sense. And like I said, this part does not have to be perfect. I'm just getting an idea of where I want this to start. Now we're going to start hopping into the eyeshadow palette. We're going to go into the shade Hearse, which is this really black, and this black is very, very black. It's one of the best blacks I think I've ever used. There is a lot of fallout in this eyeshadow palette, I will say, but it doesn't bug me. If it bugs you, keep that in mind. But usually when there's a lot of fallout, that usually means that there is a lot of payoff as well. So all I'm doing is just following this line that I already created and bringing that up just a little bit so you can see the shape starts to come together. You'll see how black this is, and I'm like just one little boop and I tap it off and bam. And the next shades we're going into is Gravedigger and RIP. The reason why I'm mixing the two of them is because I could not decide which gray I wanted to use next. So I am mixing the top two, this one and this one. And very light pressure. These are very, very pigmented and do not take much pressure or product to get that payoff that you want. Alright, the next shade we're going into is Wednesday, which is this shade right here. And it's like the perfect, like, when I think of gray This is like the kind of gray that I think about. Just the same thing we did with the previous shade, 50% on, 50% off. It takes a lot of patience to do this, but this is what gets you the best blend, is when you go from dark to light. Oh, by the way, I am filming on a new camera, so I'm not sure if I sound super echoey, because I'm not sure what the microphone sounds like that's built into this camera. If it is, I will get a microphone to plug in. But yeah, let me know if y'all can tell a difference in the camera quality, because this is a new one. So far, I like it. Okay, and the last shade we're going into to finish off the blend is Life Insurance, which is right there. And it's like the perfect brow bone shade to like blend out dark colors like this. So you can see like how it gradually goes from dark to light. It is so pretty. All right, now we're gonna go into Death Blow, which is the white in this. And this is, I think, the best white that Jeffree has come out with. It is very, very pigmented. And I'm just going to blend that out on my brow bone just to give it even more of a blend. Okay, let me cut my crease off camera and I will be right back. Okay, so I cut my crease. Now we're going to focus on the eyelid. The first shade we're going into is Diamond Ashes, which is the shade right here. And it is a really pretty white glittery shade, and Jeffree named it that after his dog Diamond that passed away. So sad. We are going to start in the inner corner of the eye. Focus, focus, focus. There we go. In my opinion, these glittery shades are what make this eyeshadow palette. His mattes are always good. It does seem like his formula, not that his formula is ever bad. I love Jeffree Star's eyeshadows, but I feel like his formula on this palette is easier to work with. I don't know if that makes sense. I just feel like the mattes are so like smooth and buttery that they just blend together, but that could also be because I'm using a neutral palette as well. So okay, the next shade we're going into is Pallbearer, and it is that shade right there. This is such a stunning shade. I've been watching Mama Mitchell too much. So I like to go in with a brush first, so I can get the precision and get close to this line up here. And then I will go in with my finger to add more. Your finger always packs it on better than a brush, in my opinion. All right, the next shade we're going into is Mortuary Beautician. That is hard for me to say, which is the shade right here. I'm telling you, all these shimmers and glittery eyeshadows are, it's like amazing. His new formula, oh. They're like silk. Okay, and the last shade we're going into is Death Certificate, which is the shade right here. So we're just gradually getting darker. I will for sure be doing some easy, like everyday looks with this palette. But man, I want to use Angel of Death. It's the black shimmer one. I might do like a just really blown out smoky eye with a pop of that on the lid. Ooh, it's so good. And I do have some fallout on my face. That's normal, but just wanted to show y'all. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is just smudge some black eyeliner and smoke it out with some gray along the lash line. I'm gonna do that off camera because I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. Like I'm literally just following this line and going down and just smudging it. I want it to be smoky, not like super defined. And then I will come back and show y'all how I did this lower lash line. I created a new, this thingy, what is this thing called? A new lower lid, is that right? Anyways, y'all know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I'll come back for that. The liner is done. So now for the lower lash line, there is a bug. What are you? Absolutely not. Okay, don't know where it went. Anyways, back to what I was saying before I was rudely interrupted. We're going to take that black base that I used at the beginning, the P. Louise one, and with that same small brush, we are just going to make a newer, lower lid. That's what I'm going to call it. I don't really know what it's called. So you're gonna start at the corner and you're basically just going to drag it to where there's a gap between your actual waterline, maybe that's what it's called, and your lower, what am I saying? There's a gap, okay? And then when you get to the inner corner part, it's your preference. You can cut it off if you want, but I'm like doing this little dragged out thing to where it kind of makes your eye look a little bit bigger. So you're just wanting to follow where you're just following, mimicking the shape of your eye, kind of like that. Now I'm going to take Hearse, which is the black shade, and just go over this line, kind of like that. And then I'm gonna start smoking out this side where it all connects together. Okay, now we're going to go in, so we're gonna go in the same order we went in up top. So now we're gonna go into Gravedigger and RIP. And now we're going in with Wednesday. All right, now that it's all nice and smoked out, we're going to take P. Louise once again, but I'm gonna do it in the shade 0, which is their white. And we are just going to put that in our real waterline and in the fake waterline that we created to give it that illusion that you made it bigger. And then once I get this done, I will set it with white powder, which I'll just do with the white eyeshadow in here. And once I get that done, I'm gonna go ahead and put the rest of my makeup on, and I will come back and give y'all my final thoughts on the Cremated palette. Alrighty guys, and this is the completed look using the Cremated palette. I am obsessed with how this came out. Obviously, you don't have to do it this dark. I went all out. I saw Cremated and I know I had to go super dark, and it's like a goth palette, so I had to go goth. Anyways, so my thoughts and opinions are that I'm really obsessed with this palette, and I'm not just saying that, I truly am. This is one of my favorite palettes that Jeffree has done. This palette and Blue Blood are the ones. Blue Blood is the one that I reach for the most from him. I love that palette, and I really, really like this palette. I will be using this a lot. Even if it's not by itself, I'll be using it with other eyeshadows. The reason why I like this palette so much is it has a lot of depth to it. I like to make my eyeshadows really deep, so it gives it like a really good cut crease look. That's what I've learned, is to add depth to your eye look. It adds so much dimension, and this has depth. But the good thing about this palette is you could use these and it could be like the perfect, like everyday, it could be wedding makeup. There's just so many things that you can do with this eyeshadow palette, and that's the reason why I love it. And these new glitter formulas that he came out with are like seriously the best glitters that I think I've ever used. I mean, my eyes just they look really good. Like I said, I did not get the lip glosses, but I have a ton of his lip glosses and I love them. But I hope y'all enjoyed this little tutorial and review. Let me know if y'all grabbed the eyeshadow palette. I saw that it sold out in like 20 minutes, which isn't surprising. Jeffree's stuff is amazing. Yeah, let me know what y'all think about this look down in the comments. And if you're not following me on Instagram, please go follow me over there. Instagram is like, their algorithm is kicking my butt. And I keep losing followers, and my engagement has gone down drastically. So yeah, if you're not following me, you can follow me at Ashley Summerall with an underscore at the end of my name. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. It helps me out so much. And yeah, guys, I love y'all, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye!